Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our Sunday gathering. We're so grateful you are here. If we haven't yet met, I'm Sandra. I'm joined by my dearest friends, Kerry and Phil, for this, our Sunday gathering. Do you know that you're joined by people all around the world right now? We come together to be in service, to inspire. Sometimes we provide a little entertainment too, certainly love in our heart with that reality that this life isn't all there is. Our loved ones who have passed into spirit, they're still alive and well, they're part of our lives, and we will see them again. Plus, this life for us is for a reason. So, anything we can do, like I said, to inspire and empower, we are here. Today is Remembrance Sunday in many countries, are called Armistice Day. Also, tomorrow is Veterans Day. So, a shout out to those who have served or are serving on this side of life or in spirit. We remember, we will never forget, and we say thank you. So, with that, I'll have Kerry tell you a few more words about our Sunday gathering today and open us up in prayer. Welcome all.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are waking up or sitting within the world. It is that time of year where we remember lots. And as we go through today, we will cover some of those, and you can think about your own remembrances. But allow me to share with you that this Remembrance Sunday is about looking forward as well, remembering, not forgetting, but looking forward into that healing and growth that the future opens for us. So I'll be doing the opening prayer. Sandra will be doing the reading and the healing. Phil and myself will be sharing our words within the address. We'll also be doing the mediumship, and then we'll circle back around to Sandra for words of the week and the announcements, and Phil will finish it off in prayer at
I
the
like
end.
how you said we'll circle back around to Sandra. I thought
Mhm.
that's a good way of putting it.
Thank you very much. Hmm. So, if you can join me in prayer. Divine, ever-present Spirit, on this Sunday that means so much to so many of us, allow us to have that hope and love in our hearts. Allow us too to feel that love for those who have moved to the spirit side of life. Allow us to have that hope within our hearts that our world can become something greater than it is just now. And bring us that healing that we can take within ourselves and also send out to those that need it most. Be with us during this period. Allow us to feel you, to cherish those moments, and to smile at the moments that lifted our spirits and our hearts. Amen.
Thank you, Kerry. All right, you're reading. Today and tomorrow are special days, days where we all, in our own ways, are called to remembrance. We think of the brave men and women who have served, including many of our parents, family members, and friends, and all of those who made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom we now have. We think of our own loved ones in spirit and the empty space that they have left in our lives. Remembrance is a sacred act, but it can also be a heavy one. It can hold us in the past and in the sorrow of loss. Today, in our reading, we will explore how we can honor that remembrance and, in doing so, find a path to renewal. How can we take a beautiful, powerful spirit of those we've lost and prove that it truly does live on? Well, here's my parable for today. High on a windswept mountain, there was a small village. The village was peaceful, but it was exposed. And the only thing that stood between the village and the world's most violent storms was a single magnificent and ancient tree. The villagers called it the Guardian. Its trunk was as wide as a house, and its branches were a powerful shield that had protected their homes for generations. One night, a storm unlike any before it rose up the mountain. It was a tempest of rage and fury, a storm that threatened to wipe the village from the earth. The villagers huddled in their homes, listening to the wind shriek. But the guardian stood fast. It took the full brutal force of the storm. Its branches were torn, its trunk was split, but it did not yield. It held its ground, a living shield, until the last of the wind had passed. When the sun rose, the villagers emerged. Their homes were standing. Their families were safe. The village was saved. But the guardian tree was gone. It lay in 1,000 pieces, a noble sacrifice scattered across the ground. A great sadness fell over the village. They had lost their protector. This was their time of remembrance. A young woman named Anna, who had dearly loved the tree, walked out to the wreckage. She wasn't there to grieve. She was there to honor. She sat among the fallen branches, her heart breaking. But as she ran her hands over the shattered wood, she felt something small and hard in the soil. It was a seed. And then she saw another, and then another. In its final sacrificial act, the guardian had not just fallen, it had planted its future. It had scattered hundreds of perfect, protected seeds across the very ground that it saved. Anna's tears changed. They were no longer tears of just loss. They were tears of understanding. She realized her job was not just to mourn the one great tree. Her job was to tend to the many. This was her renewal. She picked up a seed, and from that day on, Anna led the village not in grieving, but in gardening. They found every seed. They nurtured them, watered them, and protected them. And the years passed. And now, when you visit that village, it is still safe. It is no longer protected by one single solitary tree. It is surrounded by a magnificent, thriving grove of hundreds of trees, all strong, all beautiful, and all sharing the unbreakable spirit of the original guardian. So, what's the meaning, you might ask? Well, my friends, every service member, every veteran, every loved one who has sacrificed for us is the guardian. They stood fast against a storm so that we could be safe. And when we lose them, our hearts enter that time of remembrance. We stand in awe of their sacrifice, and we grieve the loss of that one magnificent, irreplaceable soul. But this parable teaches us that remembrance is only the beginning. The spirit, their spirit, does not just live on in a memory, it lives on in the seeds they left behind. These are the seeds of courage. These are the seeds of forgiveness, the seeds of service, the seeds of peace, the seeds of love. Our purpose is to find these seeds, which they planted in our own hearts, and tend to them. We move from remembrance to renewal when we make the choice to not just mourn their life, but to live their values. When you choose courage in your own life, their spirit lives on. When you choose to be of service to another, their spirit lives on. When you choose to love over division, their spirit lives on. We are the living grove, and every day we choose to embody their light. We become the most beautiful, powerful, and the most unshakable proof that the spirit never, ever, ever dies. So thank you for listening to my reading. We're going into our healing now, and we have a very special song. Those of you who remember Kerry's words in the address last week. She shared about the film that'll be coming out soon about Kerry and Phil and their mediumship, and what a gift it was to have this special song created just overnight by a man who truly loves Kerry and Phil. It's called The Bridge. The words are beautiful, but I encourage you to open your eyes and just see the demonstration of love, the bridge that Kerry and Phil and their students are between us and the spirit world. So we take this time in healing to be present to the beautiful music, to offer our love to those in spirit, to use wherever it is needed, sending light and love and healing to all of those in need. And you better know this, but Kerry, Phil, and I, and those in the spirit world are sending our healing love to you. I'm going to play the song, and when the song ends, you'll hear from Kerry and Phil for our address.
I walk a road few dare to see, a calling deeper than just me. Through endless nights, through doubt and pain, I serve the Spirit, not for gain.
The voices whisper, soft and clear, a timeless truth I hold so near.
Love survives, it never dies, and lives eternal in the skies. I am the bridge from here to beyond, carrying proof that love lives on. Through shadows of doubt, through rivers of tears, I bring the message that they're still near. No riches I seek, no crown to claim, just truth and comfort in Spirit's name. The skeptics laugh, the cold winds blow, yet still I walk, for I must show
That hope can rise where Greek once stayed, that death's not the end, just a higher stage.
my family turned, some friends walked away, but faith in Spirit lights my way.
I see the things I cannot tell, their path is theirs, I wish them well.
I am the bridge from here to beyond, carrying proof that love lives on. Through shadows of doubt, through rivers of slain. So I will walk this sacred line with open heart and light divine, for Spirit's voice will always call, and love's the greatest gift of all.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure to be with you on this Sunday, and I had something I wanted to share with you, but it's just gone clean from my head, so I will have to speak my truth. There is something special about remembering. There's something special about remembering and allowing for that renewal. That video was put together by Phil and a little bit of me in there as well. And the song was written by a friend who, yes, wrote it in one night. If we look at that night that our friend wrote that song, in the morning I said to him, "Shane, what on earth is wrong? You don't look too well." And he said, "Well, I haven't slept, but I have written you both a song." And he did that in one night. Our legacy, we do not know what legacy we leave behind. We just don't. Shane, when he wrote that song, I'm sure didn't write it with the intention of it being for the credits at the end of this documentary film. He wrote it because he experienced our journey. He had heard our stories, and the spirit world helped him write it. I know that my legacy, for instance, the documentary film, it might be Phil, myself, Sandra, Robert, and lots of others that are in it, but it's not about us. It's about something much larger. It's about your loved ones, your friends, your animals, your pets, your lives and your losses. We know what grief is. In that video, you will have seen Phil's dad and my mum, both of who passed during the making of the documentary film. Now, seeing them still brings a lump to my throat, still reminds me of the very painful loss that's there. But in a way, sorry, Mum, but I'm her legacy. I'm here to tell of my mum's story and her mum's story. We are each other's legacy, even though we don't know it. My mum raised me in a way that created, and my dad, sorry, Dad, in a way that created who I am. That in itself is a legacy for them. I have a daughter and 3 stepchildren, and hopefully my legacy will be the imprint of whatever they choose to retain from what I say to them. There are those who have loved ones in the spirit world who have served their country and their God in whichever country they chose to fight for. Because in the spirit world, there is no good and bad. There is no right and wrong. Everybody is a human being. Everybody has a soul. And yes, everybody bleeds and dies. Those souls in the spirit world in some way have left a legacy. In your country, I would expect there are many of you are remembering the men and women, children and animals that passed in any one of the conflicts that have ever been within our world, within our memory. They fought for something that they believed in. They fought for something that was, in their understanding, better than it was before. They've left a legacy. Every year we remember. There are those, though, in the emergency services, in our frontline services, in our armed forces, but also in the ordinary day, those people that make things happen through the day, in our stores, on our transport. Those people make life happen. I'm sure they are not thinking about their legacy, but regardless, they're still making one. You will know when your loved one is in hospital, hospice, or gets care at home, you are indebted to the people that look after them. I remember nurses and doctors that were involved in the care of my mum, that were involved in the care of making her comfortable. They don't necessarily know the legacy they've left, but I do. We've had so many people contact us to say, you will not ever know the number of lives you touch in a positive way, nor do I want to, because it's their journey. The easiest thing to give is our love, our attention, and our time. It costs us nothing. So if you have been touched by Bill, myself, Sandra, somebody in the hospital, somebody on the front line, somebody in the emergency services, or somebody that just made a difference for you, whether you see them again or not, send a thought out. Thoughts are living things. When you send that thought out, on some level, they receive it. On some level, they will feel it, and they will know that they made a difference, so that on their challenging, difficult day, all that love and healing can be gathered up and given to them to make their life a bit easier. So for those of you who have helped make our world a safer place, thank you. For those of you who have loved ones and friends in the spirit world who made this world a better place, thank you and thank them. You are a legacy. You have a legacy. Try not make it, but do it.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest with you. I don't know where to start. Today has been a day that we all come together and we're celebrating our freedoms. We're remembering those that sacrificed their lives. I'll say that again, their lives, to allow us the freedom of today. But I got a bigger remembrance when this Sunday service began, because I listened to Bette Midler and I listened to Celine Dion and that wonderful gentleman that I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to, but you know who I'm talking about. I sat listening to the words, then the emotion hit me, because I remembered these were Kerry's mum's favourite songs. And you won't know, but my wife here was sobbing her eyes out. And it gets quite emotional when you see somebody sobbing for a good reason, because they're remembering a love, the way that they were raised, that they were brought up into this world and nurtured. And then I listened to Sandra speak with her parable, and I thought how much sense that makes and reflects within my own life. Then I listened to the music again, that song that was done for us, and I still remember the moment where he shared it. And again, Kerry was sobbing.
I do other things other than sob, honest.
She does. But it shows you that sometimes we might not remember things, but we remember how we feel. And sometimes I think we take life for granted, that we forget about those wonderful gentlemen and ladies and animals that sacrificed their lives to protect and give us the freedoms we have today. And sometimes I think we're guilty of not thanking the people that are still keeping our freedoms, that are working on our behalf, whether we see them every day or not, or they're in our minds every day. And I think it's a wonderful show of appreciation when we do remember and we are courteous to them. And just meeting somebody while I've been over here in the US and saying to them, thank you for your service. I heard it so many times, excuse me. But when you actually feel it and resonate with it, it makes a difference. There's a reverence there, that there's something very special that words elude me how to describe. But it reminds me how lucky I am to have a freedom of working as a medium. Because I remember, and I read the history books and I studied it for many, many years as part of an organization where I was doing exams and different things and learning to be a minister. And I thought to myself, the trials and tribulations that these people went through, where they had to stand and protest, well, not protest, but talk and debate about the right to speak about their faith, their belief, and to strive within a religion that other religions didn't believe in and didn't want to know about, and said it was a load of hocus pocus. That's being polite. So if we look around us in our lives with the things that we do, and we think that they're everyday things, but there's always been somebody that has made that action, that experience happen by their vision. We're sat in a room here of a building that belongs to the Sarasota Centre of Light. It's its 76-year anniversary this year, and they're celebrating. But it was the vision of Reverend Dorothy Fletcher and Russell Fletcher that created the centre that we're here and part of today and ministers of very proudly. But what it must have been like to start a spiritual church, if you will, within a Bible Belt where there was no other support. It was just them themselves, husband and wife, doing what they loved. And knowing that, it strikes a chord with me, with what myself and Kerry do. And that legacy that Kerry talked about leaving a documentary, a film behind, yeah, that's nice, that's good that we've been part of it. But it's the message that's important. It's what people take from it. And it was a journey of traveling, and people say, wow, it must be wonderful. Well, there is hardships, there is loneliness, there is missing of our families, because we're in service to the spirit world, sharing the ability that we have for a greater good. And sometimes we leave these places not knowing the good, as Kerry said, how much we've done, how much we've touched somebody. It's only when we return and they say, I remember you, you gave me that contact, it changed my life. And we don't know in that moment. It's nice to hear, but there's something at the back says it wasn't us, it wasn't me, it wasn't Kerry. It was the love of one of their loved ones that was just expressed through what we do, that helps people remember who they are, how they were raised, how they were molded by their loved ones and nurtured, shown the absolute beauty of life, the trees, the gardens, the flowers, remembering the scents of nature and the moments of laughter that we shared. the moments we sat down at the dinner table, the moments we remember as a child when our parents may have read us stories before we go to sleep at night, making sure that we were tucked in, that we were safe and sound, that we were cared for, that we were fed, we were given a home. These are the things that we should remember. If we go back to those great wars as they were proclaimed at the time, where people were sacrificing themselves, if we take a moment to think of what they went through before they even came into service, if you read the history books, it will state they lied about their ages. They were too young for military service, but yet they enlisted. They thought it was the right thing to do, the noble thing. That really strikes a chord with me and keeps my integrity and intention as it is. Because I always think, what am I doing? Where am I going? What is my purpose? Remembering why we do what we do, where we sacrifice time with families and children to spread the word of the Spirit, to bring that healing to people. When Sandra said, years ago now, I think it's about 5 years ago, Sandra, isn't it, when we started the Sunday gathering, she said, what can we do that will help people through that period of time where we're all locked in our own homes, we weren't able to see family? And it was started to bring joy to people's homes and hearts, to give them encouragement. But yet, we remember those days, and we're still part of those days right here and now, because we remember how good it makes us feel. So you might have been with us for the full 5 years, you might have been with us for 5 minutes, but you remember the way that you feel. Our loved ones that sacrifice are providing that luxury to us, that we may experience, we may love, we may share those tender moments. I remember my grandfather when he said to me, we are so lucky that we speak the English language, because it could have been quite easily gone the opposite way and we would have spoken another language. If it wasn't for those brave men and ladies and animals, we might not live the life that we do. We might not be able to have the luxury of being able to speak to each other through this video camera, through the wonderful Zoom that we have today. So it's not just remembering those that have sacrificed, it's remembering the freedom that they gave you, the freedom of choice, the freedom of love, the freedom of speech. Those are the things they gave us, and they are very powerful things that we have within our lives. So as Sandra said in her parable, and as Kerry spoke about, remembrance is something that is deep within us, that happens every day if we take a moment just to think about it, if we take time to cherish what we do. And hopefully one day when I'm just dust and I've gone, that video still lives on and it touches somebody. Because I'll share a secret with you. When we all sat in the cinema watching it for its premiere, and Robert was to my right and Kerry was to my left and Maggie was on the other side, who's Robert's wife, was on the other side of Robert, it was really surreal to see myself. And when I saw pictures of my father, as you did in that video, and Kerry's mum, and I looked around, and the emotion that hit me, the pride in Robert and Sandra, in what they created, hit me. And I thought, what a different world it is to the world I grew up in. The world is ever evolving, ever changing because of those freedoms, those choices. So ladies and gentlemen, never forget where you come from. Never forget those that inspired you. Never forget those who raised you. And never forget those that gave you opportunity. But most of all, never forget who you are and what you've created for others. A simple act of kindness is something that you never know who remembers. And it can be a simple act as opening a door and smiling for somebody, that they will remember you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Phil. And thank you so much, Kerry. And friends, we're hoping by Christmas everyone can watch the film. It'll be released worldwide. We'll keep you posted. With that, Phil, I was adding up on my fingers. We're actually in our 6th year of the Sunday gathering, and end of March, we go into our 7th year. That's a big deal, everyone. This is a church with no walls and people from all over the world attending, we couldn't be happier. We now are going to go into our demonstration of mediumship, and this is an opportunity for those members of the Sunday gathering in spirit to have their voices heard. It's a blessing to be here, of course, and hear empowering words. But I know each and every one of us in our heart, we just want that evidence that love goes on. And so, while obviously not everyone gets a reading in our demonstration, it's about us in the congregation pulling these messages forward, knowing just how close our loved ones are. So just as I hope you found comfort and inspiration and wisdom in Kerry's words and Phil's words, and perhaps in my parable, I 100% believe those in the spirit world that step forward, they're here for all of us. So that being said, there will be some members of our gathering here today that will get some readings. Kerry and Phil will work with those in spirit, allowing them to introduce themselves in whichever way they should like, through memories, through thoughts, through feelings, through our senses. You never know how each will introduce themselves to Kerry and Phil. You'll hear them give a few initial bits of information about the person that has stepped forth with them. Those in spirit know exactly who's on our Sunday gathering today, even if you think nobody knows. So we want everybody to be on the edge of their seat and listen in. Could this be your person? Now, one thing in common for all the people that come forth in the demonstration is they no longer walk this earth. Of course, they're still alive. They could be our loved ones, our family members, our friends. They could be relatives. They could be people we worked with. They could be somebody we knew from the past. We don't know exactly how they will work. So we want everybody to really listen in. When Kerry or Phil give the description of the person, if you can understand all the bits of information that they share to somebody you know, you're like, hey, I know that person. We want you to press your raise hand button. And now this is audience participation, where you can find that raise hand button. Just find it on your device and press it. If you're on a device, you don't see it, maybe there's 3 little dots. You can press that first, and that raise hand button will appear. Now, if you press it and depress it a couple times, you know it goes from raise hand to lower hand. This is valuable information. And I say this because sometimes we have over 100 people with us here today. Sometimes there's more than one person that can take the information. So we really want you to listen in. If the medium keeps working and gives more bits of information and you say, oh, that no longer fits, please lower your hand. In a perfect world with no technology glitches, we're left with one person with their hand raised. If that person is you, I send a little signal over to your device and something will pop up, and it will, you'll see an unmute button, and the host requests that you unmute. So we don't see you, no problem there. But we do like to hear your voice. And when I say hear your voice, your job is simple, but sometimes it's difficult, as many people know, because we get excited. But what we want from you is only to say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that Kerry or Phil give. Now, this holds true anytime you have a medium reading. Anytime, let the mediums do the work, okay? Just say yes, no, or I don't know. Don't feel bad if something doesn't fit. I always remember Phil saying in class, no simply means new opportunity. So just be honest, all right? Let them do the work. Now, what are the rest of us doing? We are listening in. We are holding on, just like those in spirit are giving the address. There is some gold in these messages for us, whether it's an advice for the sitter, or maybe it's just letting us know how close they are. So these folks from the spirit world represent all of our loved ones. And just because your loved one might not come through today does not mean they're not right by your side. Somehow, we'll figure it out someday. They have a wonderful way of multitasking, continuing to learn and grow and love and explore in spirit, but also being there right by our side. So we'll get to figure it out one day. But for now, we just ask you to participate. Just press your raise hand button if you can take all the information. And for everyone else, just send that love. We'll build the energy. The song chosen for today that we're going to hear before our demonstration is Share. If I could turn back time. So let's listen to that. Let's just build the energy. Let's just picture our loved ones right by our side. Send some gratitude for Kerry and Phil and their beautiful words and the beautiful video they put together, and to our dear friend Shane behind the scenes who wrote it. Here is our song, and we'll be right back with our demonstration. That's Cher. She's one of a kind, isn't she?
She certainly is one of a kind, Sandra. She's turning back time. There we go. And it's a long time since I've seen that video, but there we go. So it is an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to be here. And I mean that sincerely, because it's Remembrance Day. It's a very special day. But as you know, we're here for those contacts with our loved ones in the spirit world. And I know as I was sat, there was many things being impressed upon my mind. And as I always say to them, it's not time yet, so we just wait till our turn. So I start to speak and we see where we go. So, okay. So I know here that I want to talk about Mum in the spirit world. I know that Mum served her country as well. And I do believe that the sense of the uniform I get is that I want to be in America. So I know I want to speak, I want to be across in the US. I also feel as well with Mum, the name of Sandra as well will connect. So not our good Sandra in front of us, but Sandra will connect as well. But I just feel that Mum would have held a rank. She would have been a lady that, how can I put this? I know that she has authority, and I don't know how this works. In fact, the more I look into it, I do believe it's either in the administration side of things here, where she would have held a position of authority. So I want Mum. I do feel that she was in the armed forces. I do feel the way that the uniform looks, that it's in the army. I do feel that it's within the administration side, but I know there seems to be a rank or seems to be a title with her as well. I can be wrong with the relationship, but everything else must make sense.
Thank you very much, Phil. And her name doesn't have to be Sandra, right?
No,
Sandra.
and I don't think her name's Sandra, but I know there is some resemblance by the family or friendship to that name as well.
Thank you very much. All right, friends, if you understand that information, go ahead and press your raise hand button, please. No hands up just yet, Phil.
Absolutely fine. Kerry's just whispered me that your mum was in the source, but I know that I'm not there. Your mum's still very much living with us, sort of thing, okay? But I know here. Then if I'm wrong with Mother, I know that with this lady there would be that military connection. I do feel, I could be wrong, but I do feel it's the army. But I know here she would have been in that administration. There would have been that. In fact, I do feel it's the administration of legality. So I know there would be either she worked within that legal framework. I know there would have been that connection there as well, because I know she seems to come forward with that. And still nobody's coming forward, Sandra.
No one yet. It may not
No,
be
that's
Mum.
fine. It may not be Mum, because I do feel that as well. But I know there should be, and what I keep on being shown as well is I keep on wanting to go over to that. I'm sure it's the Californian coastline. So I know I want to be on that side of the world.
Thank you, Phil. Who can understand this information or most of the information? Go ahead and press your raise hand button for us. I think this might be for you. All right, Nora has her hand raised. Nora, if you can see that unmute button, press it for us. Hi, Nora.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm on the California coast.
But you don't understand the rest of it?
No.
Right. Then I'm not with you then. Thank you for trying to help me out, but I know here that we must be able to take all of that information, because I know it's imperative that we do. I'm just going to look at it just to see where I may have made a mistake. I know this lady is definitely within the armed forces. I know there seems to be a sense within that administration area. I know there would have been the legality side of it, and the more that I look into it, I know that that is of authority, and I know there should be in some way a connection to not just the government because she was in the army, but I do actually feel the White House as well. So I know here there is a strong tie to that with this lady, and I know that I actually want to stick to either mum, mother-in-law, because I know it just feels that persuasion to me.
Thank you, Phil. All right, don't be shy, folks. Raise your hand if you can understand this.
I've just got the feeling somebody's not putting their hand up. They're either a little bit shy, because I know here this lady's waiting very patiently, because I want to say her personality is very strong. Her mindset is very strong as well.
Sheila, you say some of it. Do you want to press your raise hand?
Let's bring Sheila in. Let's see what she understands.
All right. She does not have her hand raised. There she goes. All right, Sheila, if you can find that unmute button. Hi, Sheila.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sheila. What do you understand of what I've said?
All of it except it was not the Army.
Ah, but she was connected to the military forces.
Yes, a different service. Yes.
That's fine. Thank you so much for coming forward, because we can make mistakes as mediums, but I knew what I had and I didn't want to shy away from it, even though it was taking a long time for somebody to come forward. And you understand it as mum or mother-in-law?
Mum.
That's fine, because that's the original feeling I had. Good. But she was quite a strong-minded lady, wasn't she?
Yes.
And she would not back down, because all the way through where I tried to look at it, she would not change anything that she said. So I knew there was some truth within what I said as well. But like I said, she was a very strong-minded lady. Also, she could be quite opinionated as well.
Yes.
And I also feel, even though I'm going to put the military service to one side, I want to say she was very family orientated.
Yes.
Because I know here, Sheila, it's all about the family being together. And I want to say your mum left the work at the door. When she came home, it was about family.
Yes.
But I also know as well, if she had to talk about things of work, she would have to leave the room as well.
Yes.
And if I said where there was connections to the ties to the White House and that and government issues,
I'm not aware of.
then there must have been, bear with me, I know what I'm about to say is secret, so I'm hoping you know a little tiny bit about it. There must have been either within her work where she dealt with, I don't know the right word to use here, operations or movements that were classified.
Yes.
That's fine, because I know here I can't prove the other. There has to be some truth in what I just said. So I know this with her. But I also feel as well, for people that didn't know your mum, they had to work very hard to get to know her.
Yes.
Because I know she doesn't trust everybody that comes into her circle as well. And I also know she likes to get to know people before she opens up to them. But on the other hand of that, where it came to the family, you could not ask for a kinder lady.
Yes.
And I also know that where I said she was very family orientated, she had a real wonderful ability of sharing time one-on-one with you. Have I lost you, Sheila? Are you still there?
No, I'm here. I was thinking of how to answer this without giving you.
Don't give me anything. Just say no. That's the best thing for you to do.
No,
Okay. Okay.
no.
So there must be a time though where, thank you, because I know I can't change this. Like I said, she's very strong-minded. She must have been quite disciplined with you though.
Yes,
Thank you. Because I know it's in her way of being kindness and spending time is that discipline where she's trying to educate, trying to put a point across with you to get you to see things differently.
yes,
And I know that's polite because sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but I know this is who she was and how she did things. And I know that's that element of care, giving you her wisdom as well. Would I be right in saying she wouldn't talk about her younger life?
yes,
Because I know here it's about what she's learned, not about what she went through. So I know she kept that side of things to herself as well. But I also know she was very proud of her country.
yes,
And would I be right in saying there used to be a flag outside the house?
yes,
Because I know she stands, she salutes it, and that's how I know she's proud of that. And I know she's very proud of you, Sheila. And again, this is private, what you've gone through over the last 2 years. Understand?
yes,
And I know she stands very firmly with you where you felt alone at times.
yes,
And I know she wasn't the one always to say, I love you, but right now I need to say it on her behalf. She loves you to the moon and back. In fact, she said to the stars and back, because that's even further. She lets me know. And it's really important you hear those words. You've been looking at photographs of her just recently as well.
yes,
And I know you told your mum when you looked at those photographs that you loved her. And I also know you kissed and put your hand, your fingers on the photograph as well. It's to show you that she is with you every moment of every day, fighting every battle for you where she possibly can as well. And she gives me the words, keep your chin up, keep on moving forward, and remember the good times we had, the good laughs we had, because there were some good times as well.
yes,
I'm going to leave your mum's love and those memories of those good times that you had, but also I want to say from mum, and I know there's something very personal about this, thank you for your service.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Sheila.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Again, as I become aware of the spirit world, I do believe I have somebody's son here. And I get the impression that when I say son, he's a grown man. But I know, again, he was in the armed forces. I know that life was tough for him. And I know that, I'm going to be very polite here, he passed by his own actions, because I know there was a sense of him not being able to cope with life. I also feel as well that this was very unexpected in the sense of his passing. There was no signs, and I want to say that I want to talk to mum that either was with him that day or saw him the day before.
Thank you, Phil. Who understands this information? Please press your raise hand button for us. No hands up just yet, Phil.
Mhm. I'm just checking if I've got the relationship right. I'm either with son or husband. I know there's a big difference between the two, but I know that this person is no age. That's why I felt I wanted to go for son. So if you understand this as either husband, then please put your hand up and please come forward as well. I also feel that he was decorated. I do believe there was medals there for his service. And I know there's either an unusual award that he received as well, in the way of some special task or operation, because I don't feel it's bravery. I think it's to do with something very unique that they did, that he was awarded this medal for.
Who understands this man? Please press your raise hand button.
And I'm going to go a little bit further, Sandra, see if I can jog somebody's memory here, or to prompt them to come forward. I know there would have been service abroad, but I actually feel I either want to be in a tropical rainforest or a place very similar to that, like that. And I know there would have been river crossings and things he would have talked about. I'm not one for critters with big teeth, but I know I can see those long slithery things that I loathe. So I know there's snakes and things, and this would have been a topic they talked about.
No one has their hand raised.
Just like the first one, but we got there in the end. So I'm not
I
going to
know.
change. I know. Yeah, I love the way you said, I know. There's just something here I want to look at, because I know while we're thinking about it, because I'm just going to go through this again. I know that there is a young gentleman here. I did feel it was son. I did feel that he passed. And I want to say that there was an involvement of his own making there. Whether it was intentional or whether it's accidental, I'm not sure until I open this up with the right person, but I know that there's responsibility there. I know that where he served would have been in either tropical conditions at one time as well, whether this was just military training, but I know that there were stories about it. And I know there should be fond memories, because I know he's full of life, and I know there should be photographs as well of him and his comrades, his brothers in arms, I've just heard as well. I hope nobody's gone to the bathroom or put the kettle on.
We're
Or
too
answer
nervous
the
to raise
Or
their
answer the door.
hand.
We've had all those things in the
Yeah.
past. Can you check the chat? Oh, somebody's come forward.
Lisa has her hand raised. Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Hi, Phil
Hello,
and Kerry.
Lisa. Hello.
Hello.
Now, I don't say anything. I know I've done
won't.
contacts for you before. Yes.
Yes.
Would I be right in saying, because I made a flippant comment about big teeth, this wouldn't have anything to do with bigger things than snakes?
Yes.
That's fine. I knew I made a mistake somewhere. And I think I've done a similar contact for you before, and I have to be honest, admit this. This would be your brother. Is that correct?
No.
No, it's not your brother. Okay, I know I've done a contact with your brother. That's fine. But with this gentleman, would you understand where he was quite young?
During the service and everything else I can take but the age.
Okay, just don't say much more. You know how this works. So let me
Yeah.
just work with this. So you understand the way that he passed, though?
Yes.
Yes, that's fine as well. And would you understand where he did either some act or something very unique that received a medal or reward about?
Yes.
That's
Many.
fine, because I know here it's not just bravery. There is something very different, very unique as well. But I also understand with him, he is very much a personality, very much a live wire as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I want to say that all his language is not politically correct. And
Yes.
I also believe as well he would have had tattoos.
Yes.
And I also believe with him, Lisa, that he would have had a tattoo, especially to do with his platoon or the division he was in.
Yes.
And I also know that he was very close to you as well.
Yes.
And would I also be correct in saying he was close to your husband?
Yes.
Because I also know husband is here with him too. And I know I'm moving towards your husband. Your husband liked to talk a good talk, but underneath he was a bit of a softie.
Yes.
And I also know you must have called him your teddy bear.
Yes.
And it's where there must be memories with you and your husband where you went to bars and danced.
Yes.
And he must have, and I know there's, please forgive me because it's going to be a little bit intimate. I know there would have been memories of where you slow danced together.
Yes.
And he had a way of whispering things in your ear.
Yes.
And I want to say, one of the things he used to whisper to you quite regularly, he only had eyes for you.
Yes.
Because I know with his friend in the forces and things, he had an eye for the ladies, but I know your husband didn't here.
No.
That's fine. And I know your husband played the guitar as well.
Yes.
And he would have played the guitar for you.
Yes.
Because I know here he's talking about the memories, he's talking about the love, he's talking about all the friends and the people that you have lost to the spirit world now. And I know there's more people in spirit than there is here.
Yes.
And there must be a dog in the spirit world called Sam as well. Because he says, I've got Sammy with me too. He's here because I know you love him. I know you remember him, but I know it's Remembrance Day. He's with his buddies in the spirit world, and it's those that were in the armed forces, because there's a few of them he seemed to know and be connected to. But I know you are missing him terribly just recently, and this is why he's come forward. So I'm going to leave his love with you, knowing he's there. And where he heard you last night, speak out to him and ask him to show you signs.
Oh boy, did he.
And I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you so much for allowing me to do that, Lisa.
Yes, I bought a guitar yesterday, so that's probably what he's referring to, and I'm not that good at it, but I'm practicing.
I'll let you into a secret. Neither am I. I tried once, but there we go. I'm
And
going
the
to leave
fifth-year
his love
mark
with
was
you,
the
Lisa, and say thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my time, and I'm going to hand over to the wonderful Kerry McLeod.
Oh, thank you so
very
much, Phil.
Thank you. Okay. I do feel I've got a young woman with me, and I feel like her life ended very abruptly. I know that she in some way had an involvement with her own passing, and I do feel that I do feel that she would have had moments where she was okay. She's the PTSD,
Post-traumatic
yes,
stress.
PTSD. I know she would have had PTSD, and I get the sense from her that life would have been very challenging for her. And I do. Can I see if that resonates with anybody in the audience before I go any further?
Thank you. Can someone understand this information so far? Please press your raise hand button. Nora. Nora, hello?
Hi. Yes,
Again?
all of this resonates.
You understand this, Nora. Would you understand this to be family?
Yes.
Okay. And is this your daughter, Nora?
Yes.
Okay. Because she was reluctant to give me the relationship to begin with because of her emotion. She was quite an emotional woman.
Yes.
I feel like she would have what in her work she would have found it pretty difficult.
Yes.
Because I feel like her work contributed to her having PTSD.
No.
Okay. Then there must have been something very traumatic happened to her.
Yes.
Because I feel this memory, this trauma resonating, it's visceral within her. She found life very difficult, Nora. You understand this?
Yes.
I also know that when she was younger, though, she would have loved to, you would know she was an 80s girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's playing all sorts of my type of music, late 70s, early 80s. And I get the sense that she was brighter and helpful and loving and out there with her personality.
Yes.
I know too that you would have memories of there's a special treat or a special thing that you make at the holidays with her, like a cookie or some kind of bun or some kind of holiday treat.
No.
Really? Because she's actually showing me what I used to make with my mum, but it's so you wouldn't have made rocky roads or things with marshmallows in it or some kind of tray bake?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want to get too specific there, but I would have, I should have,
I have
because I know
marshmallows in
she's
the freezer right now
I
because of,
know that
yeah.
there is this these marshmallows. I know there's something called s'mores in the UK in the US,
Yes.
but I get the sense that she would, and her dad is still here
Yes.
because I know she brings in memories of s'mores or campfires with her dad.
Yes.
I get the sense that it is incredibly difficult have somebody transition to the spirit world regardless of who they are, but when they go in the manner that your daughter went, we're left with all sorts of questions, and your daughter knows this contact, this message to you. Forgive me, I'm just going to interject a little bit. She must have passed around about this time.
30 days ago.
Okay, because I know I'm coming into the fall, but I know there is nothing anybody could have said or done that would have been able to change this. You know, your daughter was a planner.
Yes.
She didn't do anything off the cuff. She just found life very difficult.
Yes.
The instance with her trauma, Nora, you would know that there were others involved in that.
Yes.
And there would have been a police investigation or some form of investigation.
Had we pursued it, yes.
Okay, because I feel like there is a letting go and a being okay with things. Not saying she wanted to go, not saying that at all, but there's no point hanging on to things that can't be changed. Today's theme is remembrance and renewal, and it's the renewal part your daughter's wanting to emphasize here.
Yes.
Your alarm went off after your daughter passed, Nora. Your alarm would have gone off without you knowing why. Or there's something on your phone happened that was strange.
No.
Then would I'm with the answering machine, you would have a voice message from your daughter. Because I know she gives me this impression of her voice is still here. So either it's on a short video or a voicemail, or there's some way that you're able to hear her voice.
Yes.
Okay. Listen all you want, because every time you listen to it, it makes you smile. Or if it doesn't, please allow it to make you smile. She's very much here with you. She's very proud. Whatever happened 30 days ago that you celebrated your daughter, then she's very proud of what you did for her.
Thank you.
Extremely proud of what she's rah-rahing, extremely proud. Cheerleading is the American version. Please know she is very close to you, Nora. She's never going to be that far. And you did and you're doing all you can.
Thank you.
I'm going to say thank you very much for allowing me to do that. Is that on?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I do feel as if I have husband here, and I feel like I'm going to be in the United States, but I do feel that husband would have served, being stationed, is that the right word, overseas. I feel like it would have been in Europe. I actually feel like he would have been in the Air Force. And I know that there would have been, if the children weren't born in Europe, the children went to Europe at some point during his service. Would somebody in our audience understand that?
I feel people thinking. Raise your hand if you can understand this. Please. No hands up just yet, Kerry.
Okay, if this isn't husband, then would somebody understand this is father as dad? That he would have been in the armed forces. I feel like he would have been stationed overseas.
Rosemary has her hand up. Rosemary, if you can put in the chat box your Y or N and work with Kerry, she can understand it. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to come on screen, Rosemary?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to promote Rosemary to panelist.
Only because I like seeing Rosemary.
So we
I was going
love
to be
seeing
her voice
Rosemary.
trick, but
She was one of my favorite. She is one of my favorite people. Apart from you and you, Sandra.
we got to look in there, Sandra, somewhere.
I know. Oops, I promoted someone else. All right.
Hello, Rosemary. Hello. So you would understand your dad in the spirit world, and he would have been in the American Air Force. No. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I know too that he would have been stationed overseas, and you would have been with him overseas, and he would have been a little bit of a storyteller. He could spin a yarn and make something very small seem something quite large. I know too with your dad that he was also very much about the rules. Everything about the rules had to be maintained, and there's no deviating from that. You have a photograph of you and your dad at the holiday time, at Christmas time, overseas. No. Then you have a holiday picture of you and your dad. You also have a holiday a picture of you and your dad overseas. I know I'm making you think. Then you must have a picture of your dad in uniform when he was overseas then. Okay. I get the sense as well that with your dad, if he was very strict, but I want to say would you understand that your dad had the odd bit of alcohol? No. Then you did know that your dad at times could get pretty strict and pretty bossy and not be the kindest of men in the room. Okay. I also get the sense with your dad that he was away from home a lot of the time. Okay. I know he wouldn't have ever told you he loved you. You understand that? But I also know that you haven't had an apology from your dad, have you? Have you had an apology from your dad before?
No.
Then I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give you one. Because I know that your dad is very proud of who you are. I know that he is very much aware of what you have been going through. You've seen your dad, Rosemary. Spirit in spirit. No? And I know you've been quite ill recently, which you kept from us, naughty. But I get the sense that you felt your dad coming in. You're not just saying that. No. Because I know your dad loves you. I know that you are so, so, so special. And he couldn't see the part of you that wasn't in the physical. He couldn't see the part of you that is who you are. I know that you've written a poem for your dad as well. He likes it. It's very honest, it's very clear, and it's very compassionate. And he likes it, he loves it. Please know this is your dad's way of saying, I salute you. You deserve an award. And the pride and love that's coming from your dad is incredible. And next time I see you, I'll give you a hug from him. Okay. Thank you very much, Rosemary. Please take your dad's love and thank you for allowing me to do that for you. Okay, everybody, that has been an absolute delight to be with all of you today. It is a very special day, as is every day. So please enjoy every single day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kerry, and thank you, Phil. You've left me with some emotion. I'm sure I'm not alone. Friends, I've got some announcements, a few words of the week. First of all, Kerry and Phil's new classes just started last week. It's not too late to join in. If you're brand new, A Gentle Path to Spirit is the one for you. You can join live, watch the video replays. I know we're going into the holiday period, and we feel grief. We do. And there is nothing better than to be with a community of like-minded souls. You know, Kerry and Phil from our Sunday gathering, they're every bit as lovely and fun and caring and gentle in our classes. So that's A Gentle Path to Spirit. You can find that on their website, mymediumship.com. There's also some intermediate and advanced courses, sitting in the power, practice sessions. Also, on the 15th of this month, they have a 5-hour workshop called Soul to Soul, the psychic workshop. So you can get to know how your psychic faculties work, and it's beautiful. And then what mediumship is instead of working with another human being, you work soul to soul with someone in the spirit world. So I 100% recommend all Kerry and Phil's classes. They're just wonderful people. I've learned a lot, and they're the top that I share. mymediumship.com. And the good news, Kerry and Phil are back with us next week. Woohoo! Okay, some other good things coming up on Tuesday. We've got Scott Milligan back for Sitting in the Power Hour. Also at the wedon'tdie.com website, I've got 2 great new powerful podcasts on We Don't Die. You'll meet Mom Carol LaRusso, who I tell you, I have never heard before such wonderful signs from anyone, so many of them and so profound, and the things that she thinks are important for those signs to happen. Things like integrity, love, forgiveness. Anyways, it's a great episode. And then on Shades of the Afterlife, it's the purest stories from children. We really can believe with some of these wonderful stories from children and near-death experiences and things. All at wedon'tdie.com. If you have not yet registered for next week, you can find that at the Sunday Gathering page. Also, a shout out to our friends who have made our Sunday Gathering possible by donating. We don't pass around a plate, but donations do help. Between running a website and all the Zoom things behind the scenes, everybody's up on price, and your donations help make this possible for people. And also these go on YouTube, go all over the world. So thank you to those of you who have donated. That can be found again at the Sunday Gathering page. The last thing I want to share, I'm really moved today, but I know as much as we have grief, we can also, I don't want to say combat it, because the only way to the other side of grief is straight through it, but there's something so powerful in being grateful. I know we're grateful to our men and women that have given their lives for us, those in service, and even looking around, everything that you can see in your life, there are hands behind it. There are people that are responsible for the freedom that we have and everything that we have. So if we can take some time to just add in that gratitude, and it's difficult because that mind wants to go some other way, but sometimes putting a pen and paper in front of us and just starting to list those things can really make the difference and change our outlook. And as my parable of that guardian tree goes, I was going to say grows, but it does grow within each one of us. What are your seeds that you're continuing to spread? I tell you, people take one look at you, and who you are being really can emanate to another person and have them shift. So who are you being? Are you being forgiving and loving, joyful, being of service? Are you living with the truth that we go on and that our loved ones are still around? I know it's difficult. We are human after all, but we can do our very best. So what seeds are you planting? With that, I am going to turn it over to Phil for our closing prayer.
Thank you, Sandra. But it is that time of the Sunday Gathering to join together, to unify in that presence of spirit, but also under that banner of love. Great infinite Father, we gather together as human beings, but most of all as human souls, souls that are living here for experience, but it is within our attention, within our mindsets, to send that love across this world just now, for those that are in service, to uplift them, to keep them safe. But most of all, Father, we send our thoughts to those people in the spirit world that served us, that gave us our freedoms and gave us that life of choices that we have today. It is with that that we ask for and say amen.
Thank you so much, Phil. As we go into our closing song, I just want to explain a little bit what you're going to see. Corporal Matthew Creek of the Royal Military College Band plays The Last Post at the Australian War Memorial in Canberra. In military tradition, the last post is the bugle call that signifies the end of the day's activities. It is also sounded at military funerals to indicate that the soldier has gone to his final rest, and sounded at commemorative services such as Remembrance Day. Let's never forget, and let us live in gratitude. And here is our closing song. Friends, thanks again. Thank you to those in spirit, and thank you, Kerry and Phil. We'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.